College, 𝙀𝙬, to greet all the honorable dignitaries, participants, and delegates here at the virtual platform. The college has organized today's International E-Conference. The topic of today's International E-Conference is Reiki for Emotional Intelligence. The college, Sri Kumaraswamy College, 𝙀𝙬, is in District Latur, State Maharashtra, India. The college is affiliated to Swami Ramananda Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded. The college conducts number of activities for the all-round development of students and also for the stakeholders. The World Record Webinar Series, National and International Conferences, is an extended online platform of the college. And the webinars and conferences are going on very successfully without any stop. And it is due to the continuous and hard efforts of the chief organizer, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar Sir, who is the chairman of today's International E-Conference. On behalf of organizing committee of Sri Kumaraswamy College, 𝙀𝙬, I welcome you, sir, as the presiding authority. Today, I feel immense pleasure to introduce and announce today's chief guest and honorable dignitary, Soulara ma'am, who is Reiki master teacher from Atlanta Metropolitan area, who is going to enlighten us on the topic Reiki for Emotional Intelligence. The participants and delegates have joined here from all over the globe. So without spending much time, I would like to invite Honorable Chief Guest Soulara ma'am for her keynote speech and presentation. I welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of the organizing committee of the college. Please.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here this evening with all of you. I am now going to share my screen. Can everyone see the slides? Okay. Welcome everyone to today's presentation of Reiki for Emotional Intelligence, Understanding Your Emotions and Leading with Empathy. I am Soulara Sevier, Reiki Master Teacher and Oracle. I'm the founder of Soul Reiki Health, Beauty, and Wellness, a holistic wellness brand that bridges the gap between body, mind, and soul. My mission is to empower high-impact servant leaders and influencers to embark on a journey of self-healing, personal growth, and inspiration through the modality of Reiki. I offer a myriad of transformative experiences from Usui Reiki training and certification to skin carotenoid testing, intuitive channeling sessions, masterclasses, and immersive events. All of these are crafted to nourish and elevate the soul. So without further ado, let's get started. Imagine this. You're a young software engineer at a bustling startup tech. The company is growing rapidly and the pressure is on to meet tight deadlines. Your team lead, Sarah, is known for her brilliance and ambition. She pushes everyone to their limits, and sometimes to this work environment, it feels a bit, shall we say, tense. One day, a critical bug is discovered in your team's flagship product launch, just days away. Panic sets in, fingers are pointing, blame is flying. You see this frustration etched on Sarah's face, and instead of erupting, she gathers everyone around. She acknowledges the seriousness of the situation, but then she does something unexpected. She asks each team member, one by one, how they are feeling. She listens intently as they express their anxieties and frustrations. When everyone has spoken, Sarah acknowledges their emotions and validates their concerns. Then she shifts focus. She reminds the team of their shared goal and their collective talents. She inspires them to work together, not against each other. The atmosphere in the room changes. Fear turns into determination. The team huddles together, brainstorming solutions. Over the next few days, fueled by renewed collaboration and a sense of purpose, the team works tirelessly. They pull an all-nighter, fueled by pizza and caffeine, what else? But the mood is positive and supportive. In the end, they not only fix the bug, but they also come together with an even better solution that strengthens the product. So why is this story important? It's because it highlights the power of emotional intelligence in leadership. Sarah just didn't focus on the technical problem. She also addressed the emotional ones. By acknowledging her team's feelings and empathizing with their stress and inspiring them to work together, she created an environment where everyone could perform at their best. You've just witnessed a positive outcome of emotional intelligence in leadership. Emotional intelligence, also known as EQ, is a key leadership skill. It's comprised of self-awareness, self-regulation, social skills, empathy, and motivation. In today's session, I'll share my story of transitioning from being a cardiac registered nurse to becoming a Reiki master, teacher, and oracle. I'll also explain what Reiki is. I'll demonstrate how Reiki helps leaders understand their own emotions and those of others, as well as show how Reiki can enhance a leader's emotional intelligence and additional ways to incorporate emotional intelligence in the workplace. Afterwards, we'll do a review. There'll be a Q&A. How does that sound to everyone? Beginning with 2003, like so many leaders and entrepreneurs, my life did not have a smooth trajectory. In fact, if I were to map out what my life has looked like so far, it might look similar to a game of ping pong, back and forth, back and forth, but all for good reasons. In 2003, after the end of my collegiate journey and the decision to disrupt the path from my previous physician career aspiration, I discovered that my bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in chemistry landed me only with a minimum wage job. I devised a new plan which landed me on the opposite end of a stethoscope's bell as a registered nurse. So in 2008, I had risen to the leadership role of charge nurse for the telemetry unit of a hospital at which I worked. At the same time, I sort of began delving into more of this artistically creative side of myself, and I began devising another plan to fulfill that artistic passion in a different part of the United States. Shortly thereafter, I got this inclination to move to Atlanta, Georgia, which I now reside. In 2011, I was in Atlanta. Things were going great at first. I found myself pursuing my artistic passion while working the night shift at a local hospital. And though I was having the time of my life, just living my dreams at that time, I couldn't shake this feeling that something was off. I was feeling drained all of the time. It seemed like the only energy that I could muster was going into work at night, but then attending an acting class once or twice a week. My self-care and nutrition began to worsen. I continued to be more and more depleted in my energy, and I just could not figure out what was happening. In 2017, the unimaginable happened. I was working one day, I got up to check on a patient and I experienced what physicians know as a near syncopal episode, which just means I almost fainted as I stood up. Suddenly, my life changed. I became a patient in an instant, and they just wheeled me off to the emergency room. After a battery of tests and an unwelcome overnight stay, as you can imagine, in the hospital, I got the all clear from the doctors. And with 0 prescriptions, thankfully, I was discharged with a new awareness of prioritizing my self-care. Little did I know that on a subtle level, that experience had caused me to reevaluate my mission and purpose in life. Approximately 2 years later, in the midst of this self-care journey, I intuitively heard the word Reiki, and I began the journey of searching and studying and implementing. That led me to finding a local Reiki master teacher, and I became certified in Usui Reiki Level 1, which further led me to the path of becoming a Reiki master teacher. And in 2020, in the midst of the global pandemic that we all experienced, I quit nursing for good. I decided to delve deeply into my purpose and legacy of true health and wellness. So, what is Reiki? By now, you might be wondering, what is it that lured her away from a promising nursing career? Reiki, founded by Sensei Mikao Usui, is a Japanese holistic energy healing technique whereby the practitioner channels life force energy through the energy centers of the body known as chakras. When doing this, clarity, healing, and harmony is promoted. So let's talk about the chakra system. It was first mentioned in the ancient Indian Vedic texts, and in Sanskrit, it described those chakras as being wheels or discs of light, energy that moves. These chakras resonate with different colors and frequencies and are aligned along the back of the spine. There are 7 main chakras, and each has their own symbol and function. So when we consider the different chakras, a leader can reflect on their own strengths and weaknesses in areas like decisiveness. This resonates with the solar plexus chakra, for instance, in yellow. Communication. This resonates with the throat chakra, which is in light blue and in the throat area. Intuition, which resonates with the third eye chakra in dark blue or indigo. And that's right in between the 2 physical eyes. As a Reiki master teacher, I've graciously reached the highest level of expertise in the practice of Reiki. And as I continue to expand my awareness and assimilating these various healing modalities into my transformative practice, I've rediscovered my love for a deeper, more intrinsic wisdom and have made a commitment to be a servant leader, utilizing the gift of Reiki as my foundation. So let's reintroduce emotional intelligence so that we can draw a connection of how Reiki can help leaders. If we look at emotional intelligence for leaders, it manifests as a leader who understands and manages their own emotions, as well as recognizing, understanding, and positively influencing the emotions of others. It's a crucial skill that separates good managers from truly inspiring leaders. There is a difference. So here's a breakdown of emotional intelligence and how it impacts leadership. Through self-awareness, a leader who has a high EQ is aware of their strengths and weaknesses, triggers, and biases. This self-awareness allows them to make sound decisions and manage stress, and avoid letting emotions cloud their judgment. Emotional intelligence also helps through self-management. When these emotionally intelligent leaders can regulate their own emotions, they don't get carried away by anger or frustration or even excitement. Instead, they stay calm under pressure and adapt their behavior to different situations. Also through social skills. Emotionally intelligent leaders are attuned to the emotions and needs of others. They can pick up on nonverbal cues, understand different perspectives, and build rapport with team members. This awareness allows them to create a positive and supportive environment through empathy and self-management. When leaders work through empathy, they are good listeners, empathetic communicators, and can navigate conflict effectively. This helps them to foster trust and loyalty within their team, leading to better collaboration and overall success. Remember the story with Sarah and her team? That's an example of empathetic leadership through emotional intelligence. And lastly, through motivation and passion. Leaders with this high EQ element can motivate themselves and inspire others. They have a clear vision and can communicate in a way that excites and energizes their team. They understand that what drives their team members can be tailored through approaches in individual needs. So, how does Reiki help leaders understand emotions? With Reiki, leaders can become more attuned to their subtle energy. This occurs when a practitioner gently lifts dense energy that might be present in the chakras. And this causes misalignments, partial closures, and in some cases, complete blockages. These dense blockages can wreak havoc energetically. And if it's unchecked, the leader can sort of move to an area where the blockages impact them mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And as you can imagine, this creates an outward disharmony as well. Increased awareness further allows leaders to identify their emotional triggers, understand the root causes of their emotions, and observe how their emotions impact their thoughts and behaviors. By becoming more self-aware, leaders can make more conscious choices and avoid being ruled by their emotions. As we move to the self-regulation aspect of emotional intelligence, we're going to go more in depth of how Reiki can help enhance self-regulation. It does this by stress reduction, by promoting relaxation through reducing the activity in the sympathetic nervous system, sort of that stress or fight or flight response, and stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest or our calm nature. This physiological shift helps calm the mind and the body. Now, this makes it easier to manage stress in the moment and build resilience in future situations that might be stressful. With self-regulation, the leader is also provided with emotional release by letting go of pent-up emotions that might be contributing to emotional dysregulation. And remember, this can affect not only the leader, but also the team members. During a Reiki session, if it's critical. Now, this one may be a bit of a challenge, but just select a number that comes to mind. Next question. I can easily identify and understand the emotions of others. Next question. I struggle to motivate my team members without external rewards. Next question. I prioritize building trust and rapport with my team members. Again, whatever number comes first to your mind. 1 is strongly disagree, 5 is strongly agree. We have just a few more questions. Next one. I'm comfortable delegating tasks and empowering others. I am able to effectively manage conflict within the team. Select a number 1 through 5. I am self-aware of my strengths and weaknesses as a team leader. And our last question, I can adapt my communication style to different personalities. Select a number 1 through 5. So right now we're going to take a moment, add up your scores, and I will give the scoring guidelines. So we'll take just a moment. So hopefully by now you are gathering your scores. So if your range is total points of 35 to 50, you are a high emotional intelligence leader. You demonstrate a strong command of emotional intelligence skills. You are adept at managing your own emotions and understanding the emotions of others, and using this understanding to build strong relationships and to motivate your team. Now, if your numbers range a little bit lower, let's say 25 to 34, you are developing as an emotional intelligence leader. You possess a solid foundation of emotional intelligence skills. While you excel in some areas, there's always room for improvement. So you may want to consider focusing on areas where you scored lower in the quiz. And our last segment of numbers is 15 through 24. This is someone who is emerging as an emotional intelligence leader. You're beginning to develop your emotional intelligence skills, but there is significant room for growth. So consider seeking opportunities to learn more about emotional intelligence and how to apply it to your leadership style. So in addition to Reiki, there are some practical tips for cultivating EQ in the workplace that I want to share. And those are practical awareness of being mindful. Techniques like meditation, mindful breathing, for example, can help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, and also physical sensations. This can allow you to identify your triggers and choose your responses instead of just reacting impulsively. There's also journaling, regularly reflecting on your experiences, sometimes taking a moment either before work or afterwards, just taking note of how you feel and helping you to understand your emotional patterns and identifying areas for growth. Stress management techniques such as exercise and spending time in nature, or practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing, as we just mentioned, and progressive muscle relaxation. There's also the tip for time management. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed, and that can lead to emotional dysregulation. So prioritize your tasks, setting realistic deadlines, and learning to delegate effectively to manage your workload and avoid burnout. You may want to cue into nonverbal communication, being mindful of your body language and facial expressions and the tone of voice. These nonverbal cues can have a big impact on how you are perceived by others. There's also effective communication, looking at how to be clear and concise, both verbally and in writing. Be mindful of your audience and tailor your communication style accordingly. There's also another tip for conflict resolution. Learn healthy conflict resolution techniques, and that'll help you to focus on finding solutions. And so those techniques are going to be through your own research. So you want to find those techniques that actually are more germane to your style of leadership. There's positive reinforcement, offering praise and encouragement to build positivity and supportive work in the environment. Remember our story about Sarah and how she really offered the praise and encouragement even during a tough time. And that helped her team to get back on track and accomplish that goal and more. Seeking feedback, asking colleagues and mentors for their honest feedback on your skills as an emotional intelligence leader. Reading books and articles, emotional intelligence training, and my favorite, leading by example. Demonstrating emotional intelligence in your own behavior, and that can inspire others.
Wait.
So when you incorporate these tips into your daily routine, you can cultivate your emotional intelligence and become more effective and well-respected as a leader and team member. So we're almost at the end here. We're going to do a review. We're going to talk about some key takeaways from today's presentation because we covered quite a bit. The first one is that Reiki can be a powerful tool for leaders who want to develop their emotional intelligence. Reiki, as a practice or even as a session, can cultivate self-awareness by heightening your sensitivity to your subtle energetic fields. And this allows you, of course, to identify emotional triggers and help you get to the root of your emotions and improving your decision-making ability. Reiki promotes relaxation and helps to manage stress and anxiety, leading to better emotional regulation. You can stay more calm under pressure, think more clearly, and avoid impulsive reactions. Reiki supports a sense of oneness with all living things, leading to a greater empathetic and compassionate team member as well as leader. You can build stronger relationships, motivate your team, and navigate conflict effectively. There's also an increase of self-awareness with empathy from Reiki. You can become more mindful as a communicator, a better listener, and someone who builds positive connections with others. And our last key takeaway is that Reiki can boost energy levels and promote inner peace. This leads to increased motivation and focus, allowing you to pursue goals with greater compassion and clarity. By incorporating Reiki into your self-care routine, you can demonstrate emotional intelligence to your team. This inspires them to develop their own emotional intelligence skills. Remember, because you're leading by example, fostering more positivity and productivity in the workplace. So I've reached the end of this presentation. Thank you to Dr. Bedkar for this opportunity, and thank you for everyone who's shown up here today. Are there any questions? I'm trying to stop the share here.
Read it. Yes. Is Reiki really the vibe?
Say that again, Vina. Is Reiki really?
Yeah. Is Reiki really the vibrations or the internal feelings?
It's all of that. It's actually all of that. Reiki is translated as universal life force energy. So Reiki is in your environment, it's in every living thing, and every living thing gives off a vibration. So you're actually able to interpret that vibration. And if you have more empathy, for instance, if you're more sensitive, you can pick up on those vibrations more easily. But that information comes into your body and your energetic fields as a sensation, a feeling, and you're able to interpret that and respond accordingly. But that is Reiki. It's universal life force energy.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very wonderful session.
Thank you so much, Vina. I appreciate you. Any other questions? Oh, beautiful. Dr. Becker, your mute button popped on there. There you go. Yes. Mhm.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar, sir, Principal, sir, and good morning, ma'am. A wonderful
Yes.
presentation you have made, and it is related with the Reiki, a Japanese technique you said. And definitely, it has, I was thinking whether it is psychological phenomena or it is a parapsychological phenomena. Up till now, I was thinking that it's a parapsychological phenomena because there is no much scientific background and evidence that we can place and we can say. But very well placed under the heading of leadership. Yes, definitely to achieve that emotional quotient. What we required is a Reiki, and a Reiki is a kind of a balancing what we are doing. That is what I have learned from your session. And definitely it make us to realize who we are and what is my role, and it helps in maintaining the scientific side. What I liked very much, as a being a medical person, sympathetic and parasympathetic tone what you have talked about. So definitely it reduces decreases the sympathetic tone and stabilize the parasympathetic tone, and that pleasant feeling and the well-being feeling, it comes forward. That is wonderfully very well explained. And you said the compassion is the essence of this Reiki. So compassion, and it should not be there just with the words, but it should be with the deeds. And I think Reiki has that power, potential to change that into the act also. Another very important thing you said, it motivates also. That is also very important. So it is like an energy, and it controls our emotions. So that is wonderful. So that is a kind of a self-building and self-construction what we are doing with the help of Reiki. My question is, can we use Reiki for therapeutic purpose for other people? If suppose I'm a Reiki master, if I'm a Reiki person, I have to give some kind of positive energy to the other person, whether it is possible with the Reiki. Because I was reading somewhere that Reiki, is having that potential, and it's like a telepathy also. So you can send the message from here to the other part of the world also with the help of Reiki. So, what do you think about this? It is you, because nowadays there are so many non-communicable diseases like cancer and diabetes mellitus and hypertension, and the medicines, the medications, injectables, they are limited. And the role of Reiki and the role of, I belong to homeopathic science, so is wonderful. So I think Reiki can build a mind where you'll find someone here that I'm having cancer or someone is having cancer, his 50% of energy just goes away from him. So if you can have a Reiki like, treatment or some kind of therapeutics, can we improve their health? That is my question, ma'am. Otherwise, wonderful presentation you have made. You have touched all the aspects and facets of the Reiki. And really, it is very fascinating to learn about this science. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Bedkar, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Swanand. And to just thank you so much for your insights gleaned. Thank you. You're absolutely correct. When we think about Reiki as energy, and I mentioned earlier with Veena, it's universal life force. So we're all connected through energy. And so, yes, you can transmit thoughts. You can transmit Reiki energy to help heal on a physiological level as well. I do in-person and virtual sessions. And so on these virtual sessions, Reiki works through symbols. And these symbols are transcendental. They transcend time and space, and they actually transmit that healing energy, that vibration to whomever you are focusing on. So if someone, for instance, has a physical malady, remember those chakras that we talked about, they are connected to organ systems, and there's a root cause for diabetes, right? There's a physiological cause. What chakra is that related to? We're getting more into insulin and the pancreas, and right now it's solar plexus as I see it in my mind. What's happening with empowerment? What's going on from that energetic standpoint that is relating to an individual who, if they have type 1 diabetes versus type 2, Dr. Swananda gets into some other aspects. However, it's energy. Energy can be influenced by your thoughts, your intention. It's a powerful, powerful field. Then we're getting into quantum energy, and there's a lot there to uncover. But in a word, yes, you can work with physical maladies as well as emotional, spiritual aspects of an individual. It's all related to chakras. Again, this is ancient wisdom. This is going back to the ancient Indian Vedic texts that mention chakras and how everything is connected. And it's communication through intention and having these higher frequencies and, working with the symbols and knowing where to place them. I have on my title, as you'll see, Oracle listed next to Reiki Master Teacher. And you talked about that as far as having that sensitivity and being able to pick up on information. When I moved into Reiki, I heard it audibly in my ears. So I am an empath. I can hear, I can see extrasensory information. And when I'm working with my clients, I can download that information and give practical tips in addition to the actual harnessing of energy through symbols and Reiki and intention. So there's a lot that happens with Reiki, but yes, it can help with physical maladies as well.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The living body and the dead body, the difference lies only the energy. That energy has lost somewhere and gone somewhere. The vital power is gone somewhere. So definitely, I think Reiki has that element to touch that power. And definitely, Reiki is one of the very important elements we should think of, in low physical malady also. And no doubt, it boosts our own energy also. So it helps others also. So once one person who's doing Reiki, can motivate his family, his neighborhood, and I think, that is how we can energize our own communities. Thank you very much, ma'am. Wonderful explain. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Swanan. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Bedkar. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Yes, this is Kapita Jairam. I've always, I connected with Soulara of a couple of months ago, and I must say I've learned a lot from her, and she's very comfortable in the way she explains things. I think I would like you all to benefit from her teachings. She is very active in sharing her thoughts through about Reiki, and I have, though I have been practicing Reiki for many years before I met Soulara, I would suggest that you all take it up also, depending on your levels of interest, and and see how your life blossoms into a beautiful path, into a lotus path, as we all want, the blooming of your lives to a greater, higher good, to your higher selves. The learning comes to you all gradually when you all practice Reiki, and the world will become a better place if we are all going to be in the spirit of empathy, and in the spirit of giving, and helping, and doing all of these things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kavita. I appreciate you so much, as you know. Thank you for joining. Just thank you for being you. Thank you. Look forward to staying connected.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Namaste, Soulara.
Namaste, Kavita.